Hello guys, welcome to our class, and in this video we will learn on how to evaluate functions, or our topic will be about evaluating functions. So by definition, when we say evaluating functions, we mean to solve for we are solving the value of our functions, mostly denoted by f of x, or can be denoted by y. Or in basic terms, we can say that evaluating functions mean that we are solving the values of y given the value of x. Or let me explain. So in algebra, a function is always denoted by f of x or such letters as g of x. In our example, we have p of x, h of x, or in some cases, we may use some variables such as f of triangle. Okay, let's say f of star, or anything, or any variable that we may use. Okay? So, to be basic, mostly we will be dealing on f of x. In algebra, f of x is always equal to y. Okay, so in this case, we will be solving for the values of y given the value of x. Okay, because x, or your domain, or your independent variable, so this is your independent variable, or let's say the domain, or in cases it is known as the input of the function. Okay, so the values of y as our output, or our independent variable, dependent I mean. So this is your dependent variable. So the value of y, your output, your dependent variable, depends on our domain or independent variable x, or we may say that your x is our input and y is our output. Okay? So now let us proceed. Okay, so example number one, we have f of x is equal to x plus 1. In some books, you may find it as y is equal to x plus 1. So again, f of x is equal to y. Or let's say g of x is equal to y. So any function, any letter such as f of x, g of x, p of x will be equal to y as our output. Okay? So now let us proceed. So on the board, we have example number one. We have f of x is equal to x plus 1, where the value of x is equal to 2. So the most basic step in evaluating your function is substitution. So the first step is substitution. Okay. substituting the value of x or our input on the given function, such as f of, so x is equal to 2. So input or substitute 2. So all the values of x on the right side will be equal to 2. So again, to be basic, in substituting values of x or any variable in your equation or your function, we will be using this parenthesis. Okay, so in some cases, such as x plus 1, because the operation is, let's say, addition, we can mentally solve this function, such as x is equal to 2, so 2 plus 1. But to be fundamental, we will be substituting and using this parenthesis. So it's okay, guys, to substitute such as this if the operation is addition and there's no negative values involved. Okay? So we have f of 2 is equal to 2 plus 1, and therefore f of 2 is equal to 3. So by conclusion, we can say that x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. Okay? Applying it to our ordered pair, as discussed on our previous video, your x or your domain or the first element of your ordered pair is 2 and the second element or the range is 3. So again, in summary, for example number 1, as a fundamental example of evaluating function, x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3, or in ordered pair form, we have 2 and 3. Okay? Okay, let's proceed to example number 2. So example number 2, we have g of x equals to 2x plus 1, where x is equal to 3. Then, again, let us substitute. So we have g of input or substitute 3 to the value of x. Then copy 2. Then x, replace or substitute by 3, then copy. So very easy. Okay? Then, in evaluating functions, after we do the substitution, we will be solving your function by using MDAS. Or in such cases as there are more operations, we will be using PEMDAS. Or some call it as GEMDAS. Okay, so I will explain it later. So I guess you are familiar with MDAS. So we are solving equations and functions with proper operations and following the order of MDAS. So we have multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. This PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And GEMDAS is just like your PEMDAS. So parentheses is your primary grouping symbol. So G stands for grouping symbols. And E stands for, again, just like the E in the PEMDAS, we have exponent, then your MDAS. Okay, so I guess it's clear. So now let's go back to example number 3. Number 2, g of x equals to x plus 3, where x is equal to 3. So after substituting, we have g of 3 equals to 2 times 3 plus 3. So, parentheses or grouping symbol, we have parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we don't have any operation. So, let's just proceed to exponent. So, we have no exponent, or we have exponent 1 and we don't need to operate. So, let's proceed to multiplication. So, we have to multiply 2 and 3. So, we have 6. Then, add 6 plus 3, we have 9. So again, g of 3 is equals to 9. So again, in summary, we have the value of x is equal to 3 and the value of y is equal to 9. In ordered pair, we have 3 and 9. Okay? So this ordered pair represent a point in your Cartesian coordinate plane. So later I will explain it on the next video in how to graph and use this ordered pair on your Cartesian coordinate plane. So now let's proceed to example number 3. We have p of x is equals to 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Okay? Then we have x is equal to 1. Again, let us substitute. So by substituting, we have p x is equal to negative 1 equals copy 3, substitute negative 1 squared, copy plus 5x, we have negative 1, copy minus 2. Okay? So we have p of negative 1 is equals to 3 quantity of negative 1 raised to 2 plus 5 times the quantity of negative 1 minus 2. So we will be using either PEMDAS or GEMDAS. So it's up to you. So we have p of negative 1 equals, inside the parentheses, we don't have any operation. So let us proceed to p, your exponent. So we have to calculate 3. Negative 1 squared. Again, step by step, we will be solving the negative 1 squared first. So negative 1 squared is positive 1. Okay? So additional information. Squaring any number will result to a positive number. Okay? Squaring a negative number will result to a positive number. Or to be general, squaring either positive or negative number will result to a positive number. Or to be more general, when the number is raised to even exponent, the resulting value is positive. So I guess you understand. Again, let's go back. So the result of negative 1 squared is positive 1 plus, okay, so we don't have any exponent, so just proceed to multiplication. So we have 5 times negative 1. Applying the rule of addition rule, we have to we are multiplying positive and negative numbers. So in multiplying unlike signs, then the product is negative. Okay? So positive times negative is negative. Minus 2. Copy. Okay? Then we have p of negative 1. We have 3 times negative 1. 3 times 1, we have 3 minus 5 minus 2. So most of you guys are confused and may commit some error in combining these terms. So we are combining like terms. So just combine all the positive numbers. So the positive numbers here is 3. Then combine all the negatives. So we have negative 7. Then we have 3 minus 7. So in adding and like signs, we will subtract. So we have negative 4. Okay? So again, x is equal to negative 1 and your y is equal to negative 4. So again, we can say that the value of x depends on the value of y depends on the value of x. Okay? Let us proceed to example number 4. So again, the first step is substitution. So let us substitute the value of x, which is equal to 9. Okay, so we have h of x equals to square root of 3x minus 2, where x is equal to 9. So we have h of 9 is equal to square root of 3 times the quantity of 9 minus 2. Again, we will be following the MDES or the PEMDAS or the GEMDAS. So we have h of 9 equals the square root of 3 times 9. So we are on multiplication. 3 times 9, we have 27. Copy minus 2. Then operate. We have h of 9 equals the square root of 27 minus 2. We have 25. Then 25 is a perfect square. So square root of 25 is 5. So h of 9 is equal to 5. We can conclude that x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 9 where y is equal to 5. So very easy and simple. So that is how to evaluate functions.